Hi there and welcome. If you're new here, my name is Kevin, and here at my channel we learn how to make the web and how to make it look good with weekly tips, tricks, and tutorials. And I'm very excited for this video. It's a video that I'm taking from a live stream I did over on Twitch, but sort of edited and condensed parts of it down a little bit so we can just get to the good parts. And what I do in this one is I'm taking a look at cssbattle.dev, which is a really cool site that lets you push the limits of HTML and CSS a little bit, as you're going to see. Now, this isn't necessarily the types of things you'd want to bring to a production site because we're doing things that maybe aren't best practice. And there's a few things that just wouldn't work in the real world. But that doesn't mean that you can't learn a lot by doing things like this, from how to use margins in creative ways, how to come up with more condensed selectors, how to just come up with sort of neat tips and tricks that could be really actually useful sometimes in edge cases. But yeah, a lot of what I do here is definitely not for production. It's more about just exploring what you can really do with CSS and having some fun along with it along the way. So let's go and jump right into it. So yeah, let's just jump into battle number one, which is a nice and simple battle. And what I'm going to do in this battle is not only look at how... I'm going to show you how I approach these things anyway. So they always start you off with like this, you see the orange square there, and then this is my target. This is what I want it to look like. And you can hover your mouse over to get a before and after to see how close you are. And then when you're happy, you can submit. It gives you a score based on how accurate you are. And then if you match it 100%, you can improve your score by using less characters. So always take off the comments because that's a lot of characters you don't want. And I'll start with this. So if I update anything here, let's just do 1,000. You can see it got bigger. So not too bad. Now you can also just click to copy a character, which is nice. The colors, I mean. So it's really easy to get your colors. So I think the first thing I'm gonna do is body and just do a background of that. And my div here should be this one right here. So the div is coming in. Now on my body, I also need a margin of 0. And then here, I'm hoping that I can do a 50% and a height of 50%. Oh, it needs to be... So this is where the mouse is useful. So I can see that my width is actually perfect, but my height is way off. So we can come in and fix my height. I'll do with 80%? Too much, 70? And it is a lot of just playing around with numbers and trying to get things, especially at one point you start going into like pixel values and your pixel values, you're like modifying them by 1. And see here, I can't actually get it perfect. It's like a 66.5% maybe. There we go. So it looks like it's perfectly matched. So now what I can do is hit submit and it checks and it's going to give me a score. Hopefully. There we go. Oh, I got confetti too. Nice. So I got my high score. Now if I go and look at the leaderboard though, all players, this guy has a lot higher of a score, and you can see that he did it with 54 characters, and actually all of these people are tied because they found the most optimal solution. If you go to the older challenges, for sure, you're not, like, they're all tied. But they did it with 54 characters, and I did it with 153 characters. I have 99 more characters than the top of the leaderboard, which might seem crazy, but now we can look at ways we can optimize this. There should be confetti whenever a new person enters the chat. That would be really cool. I see a whole bunch of follows coming in. Thank you for following. Jeff, welcome. Don't worry about being late. I just got started. Thanks for the follow, Gabriel GZ. The Amazing Smile. Nice name. And another Jeff. We got Jeff N1212. Yeah, Ragnar's got the right idea. We can now start cheating up here. So the first thing I'm going to optimize... Actually, the first thing I'm going to do is take off my closing div, because I don't need a closing div. So I'm going to take that off, and the reason I don't need to have a closing div is because when I get to my style tag here, it knows that I can't have a style tag inside my div, so the browser's closing it automatically for me. And hey, that means I can also take off my closing style. Don't need that either. So if I do that and I submit, I should be able to get a higher score because I eliminated a bunch of characters already. There we go. So now I'm down to 138. You can also minify your CSS by taking out all your white spaces. This part, if you get into the more complicated ones, is a bit annoying. I think you can just like have a CSS minifier after. But taking off your white spaces, I think, is making a difference. Where's my character count? Don't we have one? Oh, there we go. Yeah, you can see I'm down to 123. And also always remember the last CSS, you don't need to have a semicolon on your last rule. So I can take that off of there. Or not, it's not really a rule, it's my last declaration. So here I don't need that one, and I also don't need this closing semicolon. I don't need this closing curly brace because it's not doing anything because it's the last one. So you can take anything that's the last, doesn't actually need to be there. And I'm not gonna go too crazy on this one to maximize, but just to show you, I'm already down to 101 characters now, and I should get more confetti, I'm guessing, and push my score up a little bit. So this is where you go from it being like super, you're trying to really be good to starting. Now I don't know if I can do an eye because I have a height on it. See, my eye is not working. There are ways you can come in with custom elements and do some interesting things with it. But I think what's happening is with the eye, if I wanted to bring that in, I'd have to do a display block to give it a height. Because this is an inline element by default, and you could even do like, I don't know, a G. Which, well, I mean, that's part of SVG, but you can put in anything you want and just make up your own element as well. And it should work, but I think we'll have to stick with a div for now. I think it's the shortest block level, or I could do a paragraph, I guess. That would make sense. Do a P instead. That would work. There we go. So P is a block level element, so I can use a P there. And are we down? We're below 100 characters, so I'm happy with that. Yeah, at one point it definitely becomes minimizing for the sake of minimizing. But the idea, and that's why I'm not going to try and beat the high scores, because we'd just be here like going a little crazy, trying to, and even I have extra spaces here, we can take off a few more. But I'm not going to go like too insane trying to beat the high scores, because to get this down to 50 characters, it could be interesting actually. I don't know how any people get the high scores on this thing. I did open this, and I think it's new, but they do talk a lot about what I'm doing. I just skimmed it really fast, so like take off the last thing, skip your closing tags, remove double quotes. You don't need double quotes? I don't have any anyway. So let's go into number 2, because things are going to get more interesting anyway, so number 2. Okay, we're on number 2. Oh, it kept my CSS from the last one. That's interesting. So let's change my body's background, and I'm going to write my CSS in a more readable way. And again, I'm going to try and get a good score, but I'm not going to go insane. That's not the right one. Oh, it is. I didn't have a hashtag. And then my divs, I guess I'll do paragraphs. Now, for this, I'm wondering if I want 4 paragraphs or if I want something else. I also don't need my margin of 0 anymore. Because, again, it's about optimizing. So say, actually, I'll show you something interesting. If I do div, if I have a div, I have to close my div. You don't have a choice. Because then I could have another div here, div, close div. So let's just give our divs so we can see them. And this is why I wanted to do this, because this is where you start learning some stuff about how HTML and CSS work. This should be a closing div. So if I just do, I'll do a margin, or let's just do width, I don't know, it looks like 25 pixels or so, height 25 pixels, and we'll give it a background of this one. And then, or they're a bit bigger than that, eh? 50? That looks about 50. So if we do that, and then just for now so we can see it a little better, I'll give them a margin. So here I can't actually remove this closing div tag, because if I do that, this div is now inside of that one, because we always do that, right? We nest divs inside of divs inside of divs. But an interesting thing here is if I make these paragraphs, I could put 4 paragraphs. I was writing Emmett there. P, can I not do it? No, you have to actually write it, P. If I do it with paragraphs, I think, yeah, there we go. You don't need closing tags on paragraphs. And the reason you don't need, I can't shift tab this. That's annoying. The reason you don't need a closing tag on a paragraph is because the browser is smart and it knows that if it has a, you can't put a paragraph inside a paragraph. So if it sees a paragraph coming inside a paragraph, it's automatically going to close it after this one before it opens a new paragraph up. This is the same with list items. If you have a list with a whole bunch of list items in it, you don't actually need to put your closing tag there. And if we look, I don't know, can I don't think I can inspect here, but if you did this on your own and you looked in the DOM, you do inspect element and you look, it will be there. You'll see closing paragraph tags, because when the browser renders it, it's putting them for you. Same with list items, and there must be other ones too. Maybe in the chat somebody could help out and remind me of some of the other ones that do it. The chat overlay doesn't like HTML snippets. Oh, I think it's because I can actually customize the chat overlay a little bit with HTML and CSS. It's a little bit like Pug. I mean, this isn't actually. I'm going to copy this. Let's go over to CodePen. Just really fast, just to show you. This would work here. So it's working here, even though I haven't closed anything. And if I do an inspect element, you can see that it's P and then there's a closing P. It's closing them for me because the browser, again, when the browser renders it, it's going, oh, they made a mistake. I'm going to fix that mistake while I render the page, because you're not allowed putting paragraphs inside paragraphs. And even, oh, this last one has the style tag inside of it, because that one I didn't close. And I guess style is probably an inline element, I guess. I don't know, or it's a display none. So it put that inside my paragraph, which is fine. And then you can see that that's all coming in, and then there's some scripts and stuff. But so that does work. You can do something like that. So, and it's the same with list items, and there must be some other elements too that do the same thing. That will the browser will close them if you don't close them. So now the tricky part here isn't getting them to be the right to make the squares. It's to get them positioned properly. Because I need to select them all individually to be able to do that. So obviously, like, the simple way is class, or I wouldn't do a class, I guess. You'd want to do an ID, because that's a lot less characters. ID A. Oh, I forgot a space. So IDs are shorter than classes, and since they need to be separate anyway, I would do that. Margin I don't need. Those I all need. So then I should be able to do something like A. Or actually, should we do position absolute? And then A is top 50, left 50. Oh, I forgot something I can do to optimize. That's too much, 40, 40. I'll show you the next thing you can do. And I think the next one is only a... Is mine too low or too high? Too high. No, mine's too low. Whoops. When they're all the same color, it's hard to tell. Mine is... So it's like... This is where it's a little annoying when you're trying to match things exactly. 34? Was I right at 35? No, 34 looks right. And then I guess this would be the same. No, the left is bigger. Okay, I'll do that in a second. I can't see what I'm doing. So let's just do B, I guess. B would be top 34 pixels, and then the right would be, I don't know, we'll try 50. I'll put this at 50 just for now. Then the next ones, that's B, C, would be bottom 34 pixels. Left 50 pixels, and maybe I could optimize this with my selectors as well. D, bottom 34, but this is like right 50 pixels. And this is where you start like, oh, look, we nailed it. I think we nailed it. This is where you start learning like a lot. You know, here I'm playing with positioning a lot, but you only have to do like a top left because that's where I want that one, and then top right because I'm worried about the right side of the page, and so on and so forth. So I nailed it, so let's hit submit and see. Hopefully I get 100% match. I did. Now, 353 characters is a lot. 77. Wow, he's the only one who's got 77 characters. Bravo. And this is where, honestly, don't, get friends on here. I don't have any, but if you have your friends and then you're just competing against them, it might be a little bit more fun. Bytelin, what happens if you style the style element? You could do it. 1 second. style, display, block. And that you can see the content inside of it. I found out this because I did a star, so select everything, and it was all onset. So it removes all the styling on everything, and it puts everything to their default display value, but the default display value for everything is inline. So everything becomes inline, including your style tag if you have an inline style. So let's optimize this one a little bit. Now, one thing I'm not sure if I could do or not. And actually, I mean, the easiest thing if you just want to minify is to, like, I don't think I'm going to minify things. I'll run it through a minifier after, so I don't have to. Here, does this take a character off? It does. So I could do this, right? I could even minify it even more than I did. I'm not going to go too crazy. Position, I'm wondering if there's anything else I could do here to shorten it. But I don't think so, because what I was thinking is if I had like A, comma, B, and I put like, they both have the same top. But I don't, is that less characters? So I did A, comma, B, and did top 34 pixels, so that's only one time that it's in there. Is that shorter? So that's 1, 2, 3. Do you need to put a space here, or can I stick them together? Okay, let's just take this off. I'm gonna do a cut. How many characters am I at? 3. Okay, let's just say we're at 346. So if I put this here, and I delete this, and I delete this. Oh, it is shorter. So then, could I do a C, comma, D, and then I could do a bottom of 34 pixels, right? And then we could say that A and C have A and C have a left of 50 pixels. And then my B and D have a right of 50 pixels. Oh, that's a lot shorter. Cool. I'm also doing it on one line, but yeah, that's, you know, that's good. I guess, oh, I need a space there though. Do I? No. Why is the coloring off? It looks okay. Do I need a space? Oh, it's just because the line was selected. And again, I could put everything there. Let's just, you know, but I think that's a nice little optimization that we could make that's not like over the top going crazy with it. I'm going to do this one, and then I think I'll jump into the newest challenges, because this one looks interesting. So let's just start with one paragraph. And we need to have a style tag, right? We can't get rid of that. And then if I said body background is that. I think I need 2 divs for this, right? I need a yellow div. Like this yellow one will be one div, which can then have padding and then, no, I can't do a round outline. Because I'm gonna have one that's like a square for sure. And I don't know if I can do with this with 1 or 2. Because there's no I was gonna say padding, but padding won't work. I might need 2 divs or 2 paragraphs. Actually, because these are nested inside each other, I might have to use divs for this whole thing. Because I don't want to use positioning. I think that's going to be longer. I know there is a way to... No, I think an ID is faster. Because I did see in their tips here, one thing that they did recommend. You can shorten selectors with made up... Oh, that would be shorter, eh? Okay. I mean, we could do that. That's saving from having an ID. So if you did that, so if I did A, I just want to see if this even works. So I could do div A. Is that shorter though, if it's a div A? It's shorter if it's paragraphs, for sure. But on a div, it's not shorter because you have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which becomes, so then to select it, we have 7, you need that, and then an A. And I probably need to have, like if I did div, it's like, that's getting longer than just doing an ID selector. I wouldn't be, yeah, sorry, I would just have it like this then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This ends up being the same length. So if it's a div, I don't think I'm actually saving. If you don't know about the brackets, if you put brackets like that, it's a attribute selector. So like just for fun here, let's just put 2 divs. Div, close div, and then div, close div. And then here we'll do div is height 50 pixels, width 50%, background is red so we can see it, and a margin of 100 pixels, 25 pixels. So if you have a div, and then say here I do class is equal to A, obviously I can select this class, like I can do .a and say that the background is yellow and it will switch. I could also come on this and actually just say class, and it's going to select it, because if it's in the square brackets, it's going, I'm looking for an attribute of whatever I put in here. So here I'm looking for an attribute of class, and you can even be more specific. I can do class is equal to, and then put A, but we never need to do that, right? That's a waste of time because we have a class selector. And you can do kind of cool stuff like this. Like if I do A, B, C, and then I come on this, I could do, I think it's this. I always forget if it's before or after the equal sign. There we go. So even though the class is ABC, this is looking for a class that starts with A. So if I do a C here, it breaks it because that's not starting with an A. Or I could even do like an A, B, and it's still going to select it. Whereas if I put here class equals AC, so it's selecting one that starts with AB and not one that starts with AC. If I switch that down to just A, it selects both of them because they're both starting with an A. So this could be useful if, depending on situations. I've used it a bit, and yeah, especially if you don't have access to the HTML. If you're working on WordPress stuff or whatever, or like any CMS, this could be really useful. Or even, you know, you're doing something in Squarespace or Shopify or something. Things like this can help you get more specific if you need to. But that's a little bit off topic. Whoops, I went back. All right, let's see if anybody has any ideas for me in the chat. Ragnar, use a border and add padding and a BG limited to the content box. I'm just thinking, like, wouldn't I need something for this, a border for, something for this, then another div for this, and then a border for this one? No? Border for the yellow outer circle. A few new follows, thank you guys. Rushram Mim and Blade Kodami, as well as How to FPS. Wouldn't you make a rectangle box with a circle inside, with a circle inside, with a circle inside? Yeah, the less elements I can have, my higher my score. So that's why I'm thinking of using, same with Jonah Joe's suggesting a clip path. So we'll see if I can do it. Rootdition did it with 446 characters. Let's see if we can beat that. The 3 circle, how can 3 circles be an element? Border image, maybe? I'm scared of border images. Yellow BG, padding, and border. Oh, that's right. Oh, guys, if I just have to give it a width. No. That doesn't work. I can't have a different background color and padding color. Oh, I can do multiple borders. Thank you, Silver Mango. I told you I'm tired this morning. I need more coffee. Okay, no wait, you can't do multiple borders. You can do multiple shadows. I can do this with shadows. Can I do it with shadows? Wait, Lynn's saying shadows. I just saw, we all thought of it at the same time. We can do this with shadows. I'll go Rhythmix. I probably said your name wrong, sorry about that. Good for your train ride. Good, happy you can spend it with me. I'm looking forward to CSS Demystified too. I'm really looking forward to it. Now that I've been doing so much work on it, I'm excited for it to be out so I can relax a little, but I'm also excited for it. I love this with the chat going, guys. This is so much fun, all the different ideas. Blade Commandy is saying that I could use 2 divs. I could definitely do this with, if I was doing this, I would use a pseudo element if on my own, but again, I'm just trying to cut down the code. I'm just gonna do a div. I'm so used to Emmet. Div with a paragraph inside of it. And what I'm gonna do is, let's select my paragraph. Whoops. I'm just using paragraph because it's shorter, right? Paragraph is going to have this color on it. Whoops, you need to say background. Background of that. Width, I don't know, 30 pixels. Height, 30 pixels. And a border radius of 50%, yeah. Oh, I forgot to do this on my last one too. There is a thing here where you don't actually have to put pixels. If you're just write 30 and 30, it calculates it as pixels. So that's one way you can optimize in here too. I found it out by accident just because I wrote a number and it worked before I was able to put pixels. This would not work, I don't think. I've never tried, but I'm pretty sure if you don't put pixels, normal browsers won't render it. But you can try it if you want. It sounds a little dangerous to me. I need to get it in the middle, and I'm wondering if the easiest thing is to display grid and place items center. But then I also need a min height, or just a height, I guess, height of 100%. Oh, it's not even in the middle? I don't think this is the best way, but if ever you're doing these challenges, the best thing to do is get it, like actually find a solution first, even if it's far from optimized, and then worry about optimizing it later. Mine's too high, 95. That looks pretty close. I think my circles, I'm off by like 1 pixel. Now I'm off the other way. There we go. That looks pretty good to me. Okay. So, like, I don't think this is the least, like, the best way to... position absolute might be a better way to actually get it in the middle. I'm not sure. But then what I can do on this is I can do a box shadow of 0 offset, 0 offset, 0... it looks pretty big. 75 pixels. I'm gonna put 75 pixels, 0. Oh, wait, 0, 75? 0, 75 pixels. Boom. Except that's way too big, 50. And we need it to be this color. And then I can just do a comma and put another shadow on it. So my second shadow will be that, but it's going to come with this color. I'm going to do a different color for now, because I can't see it if not. We'll do red. Except I did them in the wrong order. So this one, 150. No? Is there no comma with shadows? There has to be a comma. Why is that not? Oh, hashtag red. Oh, I did them in the right order. Okay, so then it's this one. Here we go. So that looks... Is that the right size? I think that's actually the right size. Cool. So the only thing, obviously I don't want that to be red, I want that to be this color. And then I want to select my div. Width. We'll try 80%. Margin 0 auto. Background. Oh no. Okay, I know why. Well, maybe. Background is this color. This isn't going to work, is it? Text align center? No. Darn. Okay, that just broke everything I was trying to do. I should have started with this div before I started worrying about what's inside of it. What if I just did margin 0 auto? Okay, there we go. Height. This is gonna screw everything up again. That's okay. Height. Oh wait, no, instead of height I'm gonna use padding. Padding of 50 pixels. I might even be able to just use padding period and not use this. No, I need that. I need that. This. I can take that off, right? Because if I have padding, I'm gonna have to play with my width then. Padding. Okay, let's do 40 pixels top and bottom and like 20 pixels left and right. Or is it the other way around that I want? Or do I not? I was hoping my padding on the left would just push that circle over. Okay, we'll put my margin back here. Margin 0 auto. That's just not good. Okay, that's mine, that's theirs. You can hear my little one in the background, sorry about that. He's home with me today. Oh, I could just make this smaller then, right? Okay, good. The reason I wanted to do this with padding instead of giving it an actual height. Theirs is taller, I was going the wrong way. The reason I didn't want to use an actual height is just because it's more characters. Actually, there, the height is good, it's just the width is wrong now. That's mine, that's theirs. No. Yeah, mine, theirs. So it's too wide, so now I can just bring this number down. 88? Oh, was I wrong? 92? Ah, there we go, look at that. Let's go for 100%. Doesn't want to give me a score. Oh, here we go. Nice. Good. But anyway, let's go and try out the latest battle. Because there's some fun. There's 3 or 6. Anyway, this one looks like fun, so I want to try this one. So this is the latest battle. I don't know how good I'm going to do on it. Akshay, welcome. Hi. Thanks for coming. Chinchang457, we have the creator, Kushagra. Hope I said your name right. CSS Battle creator here. That's amazing. Thank you for joining me. That's so much fun. Got a posture check. Thank you, Silver Mega. Thank you for coming in here. Thank you for creating this. It's such a fun project. I'm sorry that I'm shaking so much. It's such a fun project, and I appreciate you putting everything you did here to put it together. So yeah, thank you for that. And thank you for coming to join us. That's super fun that you're here. Hopefully I'm not doing too bad of a job with it. You're probably watching me do some of this stuff and being like, oh, if only he knew. If only he knew. Thank you for the follow, Bloida. All right, so let's see what we can do with this one. And what can we do with this one? Looking at it quickly, we need to have 2 elements, right? We need to have the yellow box and we need to have a blue box. And there's that, we have 4 colors here. So they're giving us the color that's gonna be this one. Now we could do this with a, what's the type of gradient? I think you can do this with a conic gradient. So one way we could do it is have a div that's a circle, or maybe a paragraph, or a div, because anyway, we could have a circle. We could have an element that's a circle, and then have a conic gradient, I think, that would give us this. I haven't done a lot of work with conic gradients, but I think we could do that type of thing. But again, gradients seem to be a lot of work. Or not a lot of work. They end up resulting in lots of lines of code. So I'm wondering if... Oh, we have the dimensions there that I never saw before. That makes it easier. Oh, you can also turn off the slide to compare. Cool. I should have explored this a little bit more. So if I look at this... The other thing I'm thinking is we might be able to do it with a blend mode if I just have two things that are overlapping each other. If I did it with the blend mode, I think it'd be easier to have a div with another element inside of it. So if I did a div with a paragraph inside, and then I wouldn't need this closing div here either. But I think it'd be easier because then this I could position within the circle a lot easier than if it was two separate elements that I was then trying to get to overlap each other. So we don't need this closing style. So let's start with the easy wins, which is a body and set the background. You have to write background to set a background color. And then we'll take that div. And the advantage here of using a div in a paragraph is if I put a background color on it, it's only going to do the div and it's not going to touch the paragraph. So we have a win there too, I guess. We need a border radius of 50%. Now what I don't know with all of this is if it's easier, like to get something in the middle. I don't know what the way to do it with the least amount of code is. Like, okay, you know what? I think I'm gonna do that, but then just change my margin top. I think I was wasting code before by trying to get like do it without, like, say margin top is like, I don't know, 100. Whoa, 40. I'm too high still. So like, I think this, like, I wouldn't want to do this on an actual production site. Should I just go with 50? I wouldn't want to do this on a production site of using a margin like this, but for a challenge like this, it makes more sense. So like right away, my circle's perfect. Instead of going on my body and having to do display grid like I did last time, just so I could try and center something, and then it wasn't centered vertically anyway, so I was probably wasting a lot of lines of code to do that. And then if I did my paragraph and then did width of 50%, height of, and this is where we also take advantage of overflow, right? 150 pixels, background of this one. I'm gonna try it first. I see that there's some suggestions coming in the chat, but I'm gonna try it on my own. Why not? Oh no. Okay, this is annoying. I was gonna do it with a margin top, but I can't do it with a margin top right now because there's a way that maybe I could do it, but I can't use margin top because it's collapsing margins now. Because, yeah, this margin is collapsing into the margin of my div because that's the parent, and then this happens. I'm not gonna go deep into collapsing margins right now. I have a YouTube video that talks about them if you're interested in that, because it's a nightmare to explain it. Actually, I have like a full multiple lessons on CSS Demystified where I'm talking about it too, just to really hammer home how it works. So here, height, instead of height, if I did padding, maybe I could do width, like padding for the whole thing too. But padding of maybe 75, and then I have no width on it. Doesn't work. Oh, because the width is going to 100%. So if I leave that and my padding is 75 top and bottom, 0 left and right. Oh, because it's... that doesn't work at all. I need to have a height. I don't want to declare box sizing though. Okay, wait. I mean, there's no way this is the optimized way to do it. And it's still not even in the right spot. Margin. Oh, that's annoying. Paragraphs come with margins on them. There's a downside of using paragraphs after all. So would that be better if it was a div then? Maybe. but at least it's positioned properly. Height. This is where, again, go for your easy wins. Try and just like get it to be where you like match your thing as much as possible, and then see if you can optimize it and start finding some of the ways that you can optimize it. So okay, we're positioned exactly right now. Like it's right where we need it to be. You can take the PX off. So it's positioned exactly where I want it to be. The only issue is now getting that color, and I'm pretty sure I just don't know which one to use. Mode. It's not going to be multiply darkens, so it's not going to be multiply. It's also not going to be screen, because screen lightens. I'm hoping it's overlay, because if it's not overlay, is that it? It looks it's not the same color. Let's see if it gives it to me if I submit this. It's definitely not the same color. But it gave me 100% match, so I'm happy. What if I tick off this? I just want to see if it still gives me 100% match. No, okay, it didn't give it to me then. Makes sense. So I think my color's a... Whoops. Don't want to save that. I think my... I'm wondering if another like color wouldn't work. I don't... Screen, overlay, lighten? No. What am I thinking of then? Isn't overlay... Blend modes. Overlay, hard light, define, no. I just want a list of my blend modes. Soft light, that's the one I'm thinking of. I don't know if it's going to be the same. Soft. Is it like this? Soft light? How do you do soft light? No, it's not the right color either. It's because it has to be one of these contrast ones. So like, did I just not notice that it changed before when I did that? It's like, again, if you want to really like CSS minifier, you could always just take your stuff and bring it into something like this, copy, if you're after a high score, right? So then I could paste that, and then we were at 277, I'm now down to 196, so like, you know, if you're really after optimizing as much as possible, that's one way you can do it. Alright, let's go. Black Lives Matter. I don't know. This one looks hard. I'm just thinking we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 elements to do it. And then a lot of it's about positioning and playing with border radiuses for the bottom part. Right? And would they all have to be... I don't want to use divs in this case, do I? See, now where what I'm not sure about with something like this is the easiest way to do it. I'm just wondering positioning on this one, because like I almost feel like this div here, like the one that would be this one, could be the parent, and everything's position absolute inside of it. So just for fun, if I only have one div and I do background of that, and I give it a width of 30% and a height of 100. I don't have a selector div. Uh, 50. So if I did something like that, and then border radius. So border radius, you can do the shorthand, starts, I think, top left. So 0, 0, 10, 10. Can I do it with... No, I have to do pixels here. There we go. That doesn't look bad, right? As like the base part of my hand there. And again, like, I don't know, is the easiest way, and this is where I wouldn't do this if it was margin 200, or we're 400 pixels, no, 300 pixels tall, 150 space auto. $138. and the height is way too much. This is probably the best thing to do, is leave your mouse over it so you can see what's happening and just make your updates. It's too wide too. Oh, I can't center it perfectly. I don't think it is it centered on the screen? I'm not sure. %. Oh, maybe that's not bad. I'm gonna leave it there for now. This is one. See, I don't think it's perfectly centered. Okay, I'm gonna leave it like that for now. And my idea here is that I should be able. Do you guys find the colors are different? They look the same for me. So this is where I might take advantage of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I do P, A, P, B, and this is where we're doing things that you wouldn't actually see in production. P, D, P, A, B, C, D, E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and E, F, P, F. And then what we could do is something with an attribute of A. Actually, do I need them to be paragraphs, or could they just all be divs? But that would be more characters. So if I just do P background is, do I have it still? Yeah. If I do A height 100 pixels, so all my paragraphs are also going to be position absolute, which means this one I will want position relative on. And then A height of 100, width of 50. Okay, so it's working. Width of 20 pixels. Sure. Height of 30. And then bottom is going to be oh, what's my actual height? My actual height's 40, so 45. 40? It's these damn margins again on the, so whatever. Margin of 0. Bottom 45. So I'm just doing, like, if I look here, I see my gap here, so I know my height is 40 pixels. So I'm saying my bottom should be up by 40, and then I want that gap that's here. So I'm saying 40 and a little bit more. 45, and I need a border radius of 100 or 50. It has to, like, 10, it doesn't matter then. 99 viewport width. It's, if you want something to be pill-shaped, I got this trick from csspoo.com. csspoo.com. It's a weird name, but it's full of really cool CSS tricks. So you can check it out. This is by Jens Tornell. So yeah, I've talked about it a bit on Twitter as well, but if ever you want some cool tricks and stuff, he explains it a bit more why it works there, if you're curious. I usually do 100 viewport width, but I'm trying to save a character. Height, 40. I'm not sure, I guess 40, 45 or 50. 45 looks bang on. So that's not bad. So then, I mean, this is my A, my B, my C, and my D are gonna all have super similar stuff there. So then if I just take my B, I could say that the left is, and now I'm looking at, this is a width of 20, so my left would be 25, I guess. Oh, I broke this. Why'd that break? Do I need space? Oh, I put a period. There we go. So by doing left 25, I know my gap between them, right? So like here's 20, so I'm just moving it over by 5 more pixels than that. And then obviously the height, I guess. Height would be, I did 45, 55. We'll stick with that for now. I'm just gonna copy this, paste, paste. This one, the height actually is probably the same. So this is my C, and this will be my D. Do I have do I need F? Oh yeah, I do, okay. So 25, so this one, the left will be 45, 50. And then the last one, D will be 50, 65, 70. Oh, maybe my sizes are off. 75, oh no, maybe I'm okay. Or maybe I have to play with the overall. I think it's just the bottom part that's not big enough. And then the height obviously is changed to height 55, height 45, 35. Awesome. That's pretty good. Let me check the chat. I haven't been here for a little while now. Bytelin, why don't we just make an SVG? Yeah. If this is a real thing, I'm definitely making an SVG. Oh, that's a good point. Walton saying I could save some stuff here. Because I know the width is 20, I could do a border radius of 10. It's 10 pixels. I need the PX then. I can't. It's funny how some things will accept no unit and some you need the unit on it. What if I did 10%? No. Because then 100% messes it up. Percentages don't work on border radius. So before I had 10... Well, I could do 10 viewport width then. No, it's the same as what I had before. I guess I can't save. It's a good idea, but for whatever reason I can't remove the pixels. Screen cap and add the image tag. Bytelin already tried that. That's looking pretty good though. I do need to, my width here, 25, but again now it's gonna, or actually does that, I feel like I'm off by like a hair. Maybe I'm okay though. I'm gonna leave it like that and we'll hope for the best. D, so now my E, we'll do the thumb. So the thumb, actually I'm gonna do my E here too. E. But the reason I'm doing, like normally I need to have the same border radius and I need, actually I need the border radius, I need the width, and I don't feel like if not I'm repeating these anyway down here, or I'd have to make another new selector, so just by overwriting them I'm saving on characters. Let me just do one thing here, just so it's higher up for you guys. So now my thumb, left -10, bottom 10. This is transform. I might transform, rotate. I don't think there's a better way to do this, right? 60 degree. Height 100. 70. 60. We'll try that. And this one's easy, just put a border. 3 pixels. Can I do 3? Probably not. I probably need to have. I probably need that. Then it's gonna be more like 5 probably. Normally, if I was actually doing something like this, I would change the transform origin just to make it a lot easier to get it positioned where I want. But because I'm trying to save characters, the bottom would be 0. Actually, it looks pretty good. Actually, maybe my 60 was okay. It's definitely not the same though. You can see the whole thing is shifting a little bit. I have a feeling my overall size is wrong. Theirs is longer, 65 maybe. And my degree... maybe? No. I think if I fix the size of my hand, I might solve some of my issues here. That looks pretty good. Now it's more like the positioning. Whoops. -5. Okay, let's get the bottom thing, and then I'll try to refine this a little bit. So the bottom one, E, F. Width, actually, F. So now I don't want it to be position. I'm wondering if I should use something other than a paragraph. It's just, I want this background on it. Oh no, maybe I'm okay. And I didn't include it in here. Okay, I think I'm okay. Width of 50%. Background red. Height 150%. Can this work? Margin 0 auto. Whoops. Margin 0 auto. No, because it's positioned absolute. Normally, if I was doing this, I would do a left 50% and then a transform translate x negative 50%, and then I know it's right in the middle, which would be perfect. But I think just because I'm trying to save on the amount of code I'm writing, and because I know the exact size of this. Okay, I'm gonna, width is 100. $80, $90. Mine. Let me just turn the red box off for a second. That's mine, that's theirs. Mine's too narrow now. That's... Oh, look, my width's actually, it's perfect. Width 100% is exactly what I want. Now I have to fix the positioning of all my fingers. But that's good. I got the bottom part good. So let's fix this part now with the red box. So because I know the width of this is 50%, so the width of it is 50 pixels. So actually I could save by just doing 50, it's gonna be the same thing then. So it's 50 pixels wide, so my left should be 25 pixels, and that will be dead right in the center. We want to take U, background should be that color. Now I'm wondering, would it be better to switch my E and my F? F and E. It's screwing things up, because the reason I'm thinking if I switch, or even what if I just move this around then, like that. There we go. That way I don't have to try and get it underneath the thumb, just like the natural positioning and layering of things is putting the F underneath my E, so I don't have to try and pull it forward, if that makes sense. So the height here, because then here too I don't need like a margin top, I can just play with my height to try and get the right height on it. Needs to be a little bit more. I could also, like I'm doing this, but it's probably, percent is going to be longer because I need to put that. So what if I just did 200 pixels? 100 pixels. 75 pixels. And let's leave it there, and now I can just play with my numbers. 80. 85. Right on, and then I need my border radius. Border radius of 10. 10 px. That looks right on. Perfect. Now I just need most fingers to be positioned a little bit better. That's mine, that's theirs. Mine, theirs, mine, theirs. Why is my first finger off? Was that the only thing on that playlist? Let's try this. Left of, okay, my first one, A. Oh, okay, it was left 0. Do I need to do a left? Shouldn't it be lining up right with that? Wait. 0. That's mine. That's... Oh, theirs is moved over a little bit. That's why. There we go. Okay, that's why. The first one's already at a 5. Okay, that makes more sense. So now I just have to modify my numbers a little bit here. I just have to move everything over by 5 extra. Left 30. 80. 55. There we go. Now I just need... Look at that! We're almost there! I just need to get my thumb. So my thumb width, my thumb is this one. I think this was probably, it just, this is so frustrating. Silver Mango, I don't know when to use this, so I'm gonna use it now, but your mom is asking you to sleep. All right, awesome. No problem at all. See you next time. Thanks for hanging out. Let me just check the chat now that caught my attention. People really trying to get those images in there. Thank you for the follow, Fola Fumi. We're over 80 viewers. This is a all-time high by a long shot. Thank you guys so much for all coming and hanging out with me. This is crazy. Thank you all very much for coming and spending some time. Don't be shy in the chat if you have any suggestions or anything. What time is it? 10:40. I think this is gonna be the last one we do. I might look at another one, but I want to be off. I want to get my kid off the TV. I need to go spend some time with him. Now, what's wrong with the position? The size is perfect. It's just like off by a pixel. Is it just here, like left 20 would work? No, that's the wrong one. Height is okay. Bottom. Like if I did a bottom 0, is that just... Now it's even worse. But like, why do I need something like negative? That's good. And then my left is going to be 2. Seriously? Can I do an 8.5? Mine is higher than theirs. Mine, theirs. Now it's... Mine is higher now. Like, this is ridiculous. I must have done something here that's like... I can't get it right on. Yeah, mine, theirs. Okay, whatever. Let's submit this and see what it gives me. I didn't have the confetti, of course. I did get 100. Oh, there we go. Awesome. Super. 100% match. How many characters? 8. What's the leaderboard on this one? This is going to depress me. 265, and I had 826. And just for fun, what if I just took this and minimized it, just to see? Copy. CSS minify. Whoops. CSS minifier. Minify. Just for fun, to see like how many characters. 585. What's my score on that? So like if I go to the leaderboard, they have half as many characters, less than half as many characters as I do. Right? Oh no, yeah, 5, yeah, less than half. Actually, this is one that can definitely be, like, people can target this though. Look, like, 10th place is almost 100 characters more than first. So, like, you could, this is one of those ones then that, like, maybe the leaderboard's actually achievable. So, I mean, here, maybe there's a way I could optimize something here a little bit. I think... Position relative, like, actually, here, I didn't do a position absolute on this? F. Did I do it on all my divs? All my paragraphs, I mean. Paragraph, all of them have it. I'm wondering, like, here, I did this one as a div on purpose because I wanted all of these to be nested inside of it. Maybe there's a way that you can do it without doing that. How can you do that with 256 lines? Blade, you can't see how other people did it. Yeah, because then everybody on the leaderboard would all have the same score because you'd just be copying other people. So let's go see the tips and tricks really fast. Oh, I used position fixed beats position absolute mostly. I can see that just because fixed is shorter than absolute by a little bit, but I have a feeling it wouldn't. You know what you could do on a lot of these guys? Instead of like here, if I didn't have a div, is this gonna work? If I did that, but then I made this my body, and then I made this my HTML. Cool. So you could do it without actually having the div. So you're using your body as your main container, and then you're giving the background color through the HTML element. So that's another way you could optimize stuff. Cool. That's super hacky. Don't do that on an actual site. Oh, and you can also do this, apparently. BG colored equals red, text equals green. So could I optimize through that then? BG color instead of writing background here? Whatever. It's a few little things you can do along the way. Alright, so yeah, let's try this ice cream because I don't think it's going to be too complicated. So let's start with, so I guess here, let's do my HTML. We'll see if we can cheat a little with that. Background is there, and then my body, we'll give that this one. Background is that one. And, okay, that one's gonna have to have multiple lines of code, so width. Or like here, instead of width, could I just do margin to get the right size? Margin 100, 100 space 50? Oh, the other way around. 50, 100, 150. Right? Like, I could sort of cheat a little bit here. The top is perfect. The side is a little bit off, I think. 52? Oh wait, 52 is top and bottom. 50 is okay. 50. 55? Is that too narrow now? Maybe that's perfect. That's, it's too small. Anyway, you could like, I'm not actually setting a width, I'm just using my margins to get it right in the middle of the page. Mine's too big still, I think. This is hard to know if it's like lining up perfectly. Maybe I'm okay. I'll try 52 and we'll go from there. And now the fun one is the border radius on this. So border radius, top left is going to be 100. What can I do? 99? 99 viewport width. 99. Oh yeah, I have to do all four if I do this. Because you can do two, I can do 10 pixels, let's say, and you can get cool shapes like this. So it's doing top left and bottom right are at 99, and the top right and the bottom left are at 10 pixels. So you can come up with some fun shapes with border radii, different border radii. But for something like this, I think I need to do it like that. Then I need, say, 25 pixels. 25 px, 25 px. That's way too small. 100 px is way too big. What? Oh no, that's better. Maybe 150 even. And so my margin top is good. My margin bottom is gonna have to be a lot bigger. There we go. So it looks... Maybe I was actually better at 150. Wider? Smaller. I was right, 150 I think. Yeah, I was. My border radius on the bottom looks like it's a little bit off. Border radius, one needs to be a little bit more. How does that look? It's still a little bit off, eh? 160, I guess. That looks better. Okay. Now for the stick, and this is the fun part. Do I do it? So I can do this. That's my body. So I haven't even used anything yet. Now, I have a few ideas on how I can do everything else. I need a stick though, and I'm worried now that I did that on my body. Let's just try this for a second then. Div background is that. Because I did it on my body, maybe that was a bad idea. Width is, I don't know, let's just try 50 pixels. The height is 100 pixels, just so I have something to work with. Margin top. Darn. Can I overflow outside the body? This is where you start learning stuff about CSS. Can I overflow outside my body? Yes, you can. Okay. So I think I'm going to do it like this then. I'll just position absolute on it. Or they said position fixed. You save yourself some line, right? Fixed. It's shorter than writing absolute. So top 200 is perfect because my height, it just happens to be perfect. I got lucky. That's why that works. Left is, okay. Oh, okay. My middle would be, so it's 400. So the middle is 200. My width is 25. So I want to do 200 divided by 2 is 100. No, I want 200. 200 minus 25 minus 1, so 175 wouldn't be right. 185.5. Yeah, I guess, but my width I think is off by a little, so that's going to have to be adjusted. The height is obviously way off. Height is like 25, 50. So now I have two. I don't want to do a border radius on all 4 sides. I'm going to do that for now, and we'll see if we can optimize this. I'm going a lot longer on this stream than I was planning. Let's just do this. So put that there, except then it's going to be 0, 0. And then like 10 pixels, 10 pixels? Something like that. That's even made too much. Not enough. Maybe that's good. Is it? Theirs is a little bit wider than mine, isn't it? So maybe it was 30, but then I need to adjust this. There we go. Okay. Well, my number was way off before then, maybe. And then I think with the easiest thing to here, instead of adding another element, to do a box shadow. And I can do an inset 0, 10 pixels, and make it this color. 10 pixels, 0. 0, 0, 0, 0? Why doesn't that work? What? That works. Inset 0 there. I want no blur, no red. I chose the wrong color, that's why. Cool. That was fun. I like that one. And again, I could optimize that and stuff, but that was just fun to put together. Maybe there's a better way to do that, but I do think the box shadow is probably the best way to get that, instead of adding a new div and then trying to get the div in the right place and then giving it its own color and all of that. So I think that's probably the right way to attack that. I'm wondering if I could... So that works. Oh, instead of a box shadow. Yeah, would that be shorter? That's a good point. I'm doing the box shadow, but we could just do border... It's 354. Border top. Thank you for the suggestion, Morpheus. Morphe-ish. Border top of 10 pixels, solid, and the color. Box top border. And the height here now is going to have to be height 40. That's a little bit shorter. Okay, that works better than the box shadow then. And I don't need this either. And I don't need this. And I could optimize everything. I don't need that. Okay, a few little things along the way to improve my score just a little bit. Thank you for that suggestion, Morpheus. Thank you for the follow, Dead Mechanics. Let me just see the chat here for a minute. A few other follows. Thanks, Heux0 and James Coyle 95. I don't think I could have used the head to do this one, could I? Instead of a div? Would that work? No, why not? Oh, and then I'd have to do a display block, right? Did that save me anything? What was my other one? Nah, it ends up being longer. Or, well, we can save that. But I guess because I had to add this line, it ends up being longer. Because this is just, even here, I don't need the closing div. I could just do it like that. We're down even more. Translate instead of top and left would be shorter too. Would it? Because if I did a translate, transform, what am I transforming? The same, what numbers did I have? Translate, transform, 200, comma, 185. If I did that,
Daddy.
Translate, transform, transform, translate. Huh? I mucked something up. That's interesting. Maybe we could do it shorter then. $40, and what would this one become? Oh yeah, we saved quite a lot on that one. And then you don't even need the position affixed. Cool. So I hope you liked that. I hope maybe you learned a couple things along the way there and saw some kind of interesting things that we can do with HTML and CSS. Now, if you did like this, I'd encourage you to go and follow me over on Twitch, where I live stream twice a week. So if you like that type of thing, where I'm diving into just exploring CSS, having fun with it, and all of that, it's a little bit more relaxed than the type of stuff I do here that's more focused on single topics. They're usually between 1 and 3 hours long each stream, so it's, and I get to interact with the chat a lot more and stuff like that. So the link to my Twitch is down below. You can check that out. Give me a follow over there. A lot of what I'm going to be doing over on the Twitch channel is sort of bigger projects and other things like that. But every now and then it's fun to take a detour and do something like this. So thank you very much for watching. A really big thank you to all my patrons for their support every single month. You guys are absolutely amazing. And of course, until next time, don't forget to make your corner of the internet just a little bit more awesome.